A common question that we always get in our practice is if it's better to buy a property in the name of a corporation or as an individual. My name is Attorney Johan Confidente, real estate attorney in Punta Cana, and today I will be answering that question. I will start explaining about corporation, and then moving forward, we will cover individual. When it comes to a corporation, the first thing that we need to understand is that whether it's a new creation or an existing company in a different country, this company is going to be subject to all the tax declaration and to all the formalities of the Dominican legislation, meaning that taxes will have to be reported on a monthly basis. And in order to do so, you will have to hire an accountant to help you with the process, since there will be some specific details of the process that you will need to perform correctly in order to be valid reported to the tax authorities of the Dominican Republic. That means that you will have a cost associated with the accountant that you will hire to help you with the process. In addition to that, you have to consider the expenses that are associated with the fact that you need to keep your company up and running all the time, because otherwise your company might become inactive, and you don't want this to happen when you have a property in the name of this corporation. Meaning that there will be some expenses directly associated with the fact of having a corporation, and not necessarily, or better say, when I have a company, when I have a property in the name of a corporation, there will be obligations directly associated with the corporation that they don't have anything to do directly with the property. And this is why it's important to understand if I'm looking for asset protection or tax savings. Because I might be spending more money to keep the company up and running, to pay my accountant, than the savings that I'm looking to have. And this is why it is so important to understand what is the benefit, what is the reason that I'm trying to get my property, whether in a corporation or in my personal name as an individual. It's important to understand that some exemptions will be granted to individuals. Let's say the property I buy, I put it in my personal name. The first $150,000 approximately will be property tax exempt. That benefit, we don't have it when it comes to a corporation. If it's a corporation, your taxes or the tax equivalent to property tax will start from the first dollar, meaning that if you have a property that's worth $150,000, you will have to pay the tax that is equivalent to property tax from the very first dollar, meaning that you already lose that exemption of the first $150,000. Now, how do I determine if I want to put my property in a corporation? Is any property, can I put any property in the name of a corporation? The answer is yes. You can put any property, the value, regardless the value, you can put it in a corporation. But is it convenient to do so? I think that it will only be convenient if the property worth more than $200,000, because you don't want to stay too close to the exemption. Let's say you buy a property of $200,000 and you put it in a corporation. You're paying the 1% on property taxes, or the equivalent to property taxes for a corporation. You're paying it from the first dollar, from the very first dollar. In the other scenario, when it comes to individual, you have the first $150,000 tax-free. When you put these two things together, there is the exemption that I lose when I put my property in the name of a corporation, plus all the expenses associated with the fact that I'm using a corporation to have my property. The accountant, the taxes, the exemption, those are the facts that I need to consider before I determine if I really want to put my property in the name of a corporation. Now, when it comes to asset protection, it's a different story. People who are looking for asset protection sometimes it's because of personal situation, because it's more convenient for them to put it in the name of a corporation. Now, this is a personal decision and every case is different. So you need to sit down with your attorney and determine, put a strategy in place to understand if that will be the best idea to put that property in the corporation. As asset protection, in terms of asset protection, some people will try to avoid being taken to court or being sued if there is any kind of incident or accident in the property. We don't really have this too much in the Dominican Republic, but I recommend that this, to put in a strategy in place with your acting lawyer. And I'm sure that a good lawyer that understands taxes in the Dominican Republic, that knows the real estate system of the Dominican Republic, will be able to give the right advices, whether it's to achieve the goal of asset protection or just tax saving. However, generally speaking, I do not recommend to put a property, the property in the name of a corporation if it's less than $200,000, because when you compare the exemption versus all the expenses associated with the company, and now I'm again talking about the taxes and the renovations that you have to pay in order to have your company up and running, then it doesn't make too much of sense, right? If there's further question, you can always write me your questions on the channel and I will be more than happy to get back to you and answer all the questions. Remember that in the Dominican Republic, we do not have title insurance, and therefore it is so important to always have an attorney to represent you in the purchase process. Our firm offers real estate bilingual attorney to help you through the entire purchase process.